Hare Krishna, good evening and welcome all of you all for today evening's match in KPL series. Last match in round 3, and today the match is between Vrindavan Royals and Makhanchur Challengers. So both teams are equipoised and well prepared for the game. So I think it will be a nice match to start with. So before we go ahead with the proceedings, I would like to hand over the floor to our Jigar Prabhu, who will look after this toss.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I will share my screen. And today we have Vrindavan Royals versus Makhanchor Challengers. So let me just start with the toss. Who's going to take the call? Is it Priya Singh Mataji?
Shall I tell?
Or okay, yes, Haldar Pram Das
I'll
Prabhuji.
go for tails.
Tails. Okay, so tails is the call, and I flip the coin now. It's a heads, and Priya Singh Mataji wins the toss.
Yes. Priya
We'll
Singh
go,
Mataji, what do you
we'll
like to
go,
do?
we'll go first.
You'll go first. Okay, that's nice. You don't want to keep the pressure on you after the last ball. Okay, that's very nice. I would like to know one thing. Yes. Any message before you start the match? As a captain, what do you like to say?
I'll just say that try your best and don't be demotivated if you lose, or even if it is a tie, or even if you win, then don't change your mind. So it's totally fine, whatever it is. So
Yes, Sarabram Prabhu, you're representing Makhanchor Challengers,
Yes,
and
Prabhuji.
sadly you lost the toss. So, what is your call on this?
No, प्रभु जी कुछ नहीं, जो भी है कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलना है, बाकी जो भगवान के हाथ में, जैसा होगा देखा जाएगा.
Okay.
दूसरा क्या क्या?
Okay. It's not be that. I would like to know what is the preparation from your end. This time, are you going to bat or not? Because consistently you have not been playing.
Yeah,
You have
Prabhuji,
been you've been participating, but you have not been playing. So I want you to play this time.
Definitely. I'll try my level best. वो बहुत मेरा involvement अभी है, लेकिन I'll try my best.
Everyone is involved in this material world, Prabhu.
नहीं वो प्रभु
So we start with Vrindavan Royals, right? Vrindavan Royals, all Makhanchor Challengers, please switch off your videos. Vrindavan Royals will now start with the match. So all Vrindavan Royal people, please switch on your videos. Okay. Okay. So we start today evening's first match with Vrindavan Royals, and the first question for Vrindavan Royals for today evening is: why did Krishna show Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherd men the spiritual sky? And your time starts now.
anybody would like to answer? Priya Mittal Mataji, Namrata Mataji? Speak yes or no at least. Vishal Prabhuji?
I'll try. Prabhuji, I'll try.
Okay.
जब वरुण देवता के when the servant of the Varun Devta captured Nand away, Krishna went to release Nand Maharaj from Varun Devta.
Very good.
The moment he saw Krishna and Balaram, Krishna ji coming, he did Dandavat Pranam and begged for forgiveness for the sake of his servant and released Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj was also astonished at the behavior of the Varun Devta, how he has left him. And when he told the incident to all the cowherd men, they were perplexed, but they knew in their heart that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they had doubt that whether Krishna would give them salvation.
Perfect.
So Krishna could understand this perplexity in the minds of the cowherd men, and therefore to relieve them of this perplexity, that there is a world outside this, which is the spiritual sky, where he will be taking them. He made sure.
Full points to Vrindavan Royals. Well started. Yes, the answer is very perfect. Vishal Prabhuji has very rightly said. Nanda Maharaj did not accept the fact that Varun Dev worshipped Krishna. It was something which was hard for him to believe. Why? Because he took Krishna to be his child. Friends of Nanda Maharaj and all the coward men became eager to know if Krishna was the actual supreme personality of Godhead, and if he was going to give them salvation. भगवान की जैसे आपको जानकारी मिले तो लोगों को क्या जानकारी होना चाहिए कि हाँ, if this person is God, what can God give you which other demigods cannot give you? And that is liberation, salvation, and getting out of the cycle of birth and death. And that they wanted to check out. Krishna understood their mind, and in order to assure them of their destiny in the spiritual kingdom, he took them there. By the way, does anybody know what happened when he took them over there? How many of you are interested in knowing that? It's a small story.
Yeah,
I told
please,
you
Prabhuji.
What happened was, Acharya say very nicely that he was taken up to the spiritual. He took all of them to the spiritual world, and where did he take them? He took them to Vaikuntha, and in Vaikuntha, Lord is only in one rasa, and that is in awe and reverence. Samrat Prabhu, you'll have to mute yourself. Yeah. In awe and reverence. And they saw, oh, Krishna is lying down on, Vishnu is lying down on the Sheshnag, and Lakshmi ji is pressing his feet, and everyone is in four-handed form, and nobody can go and meet Krishna or Vishnu like that. You have to stand, and it's all so much of etiquettes and rules. And they were wondering, why is this so? In Vrindavan, we are so happy. Meeting Krishna every 2 seconds, we can go and meet Krishna, we can play with Krishna, we can feed Krishna with anything we want. That it is not possible in the spiritual world, because in Vaikuntha everything is in awe and reverence. So looking at that point, they were all perplexed, and they finally decided, Krishna, we don't want to be here. We are very happy in our Vrindavan itself, where we can have some interactions with you, some Sakha Bhav, some Vatsalya Bhav, Madhuri Bhav, and all that. That is the reason Krishna took them, showed them a glance, and took them back to Vrindavan. Well played, Vrindavan Royals. First question, full marks goes to your count, and scorer, please note that. So next question, two Vrindavan Royals, and this time the question is going to be very simpler. I know that. On the spiritual platform, sense gratification for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, whereas on the material platform, it is for the performer. Explained with analogy. On the spiritual platform, sense gratification is for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, whereas in the material platform, it is for the performer. Explained with analogy. Your time starts now.
Samir Prabhuji, do you know?
Priya Mataji.
I'll go for the answer if you don't. Okay, Prabhuji, यहाँ पे Krishna is anything we do for our sense gratification, that is that comes under bhautik indriya tripti hoti hai. But when we do anything for pleasing the Lord, then it is Krishna prem or adhyatmik indriya tripti, we tell it. It is adhyatmik karma. So here the analogy is given of a servant and the master. So when the servant serves the master, he doesn't serve him for pleasing the master. He does it for his salary. So it is the basic concept is for his own. The servant is serving the master for his own pleasure, not for the pleasing of his master.
Good.
And when a person is serving Krishna, it is first of all, it is without salary, and it is never stopped. Even if when in the material platform, if the salary is stopped for a servant, he stops the serving of his master. But on the Krishna conscious platform, the serving never stops for Krishna. Yeah, so
Something more you can add regarding the service of Krishna?
It is for
You have time, so don't worry. You have some time. You said it goes, service for Krishna goes
Uninterrupted
uninterrupted. And something
and
more than
without
that?
salary without
Without
salary.
Very good.
Uh,
And don't worry, I'm getting full points to you, but I'm expecting one more word from you. I'm giving full points to you, Vrindavan Royals. It is
It is
in
in the service
all
of Lord.
conditions. It is in
Yeah.
all conditions. See, it's very important to understand this point also. Yes, first and foremost, let me give full 2 points to Vrindavan Royals. For example, on the material platform, when a servant serves the master, he is trying to satisfy not the senses of his master, but rather his own senses. कहते हैं ना एक व्यक्ति अगर if he is trying to serve his boss very nicely, trying to get a lot of salary from the boss. What is the purpose? It is only so that with the salary he can do lot of sense gratification. Vice versa. Just imagine if the boss stops giving him salary, immediately the service also gets stopped. He says, why should I serve you when you're not going to pay me salary? Whereas the same thing is reverse in the spiritual world. Always, I have always told you all, Krishna book clearly mentions, even Bhagavad Gita mentions very clearly, this is a pivoted reflection of the spiritual world. Here, everyone does with a specific reason, specific purpose, or with some specific profit. Whereas in the spiritual world, it is not profit based. There, it is done without any payment. And it is continuous service. It's not like, oh, I have a weekly off. Saturdays, Sundays, I don't go to office. I got so many leaves, I can encash my leaves. I don't want to, I got some sick leave, I got some privilege leave, and I'm going out for a party and all that. Whereas in the spiritual world, it's eternal service. And under all conditions. Someone will say, something wrong, got a lot of work. My boss has given me a lot of pressure. I cannot do spiritual service in this material world, but in the spiritual world, under all circumstances, one does. So that's a big difference. So that means the servant engages in the services of the master just to satisfy his own senses. On the spiritual platform, however, the servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead serves him without any payment, continuously and in all conditions. यहाँ पे conditions also puts an effect on the person. Whenever there is some adverse condition, the service stops. Even the service to the Lord, to the deities, stop because of some adverse condition. But there it doesn't stop. The conditions remains, whatever may be the condition, the service remains the same. Well answered, Priya Singh Mataji, and full 2 points goes to you and your team. And let's go to the third question of today evening. And the third question is, Lord, on seeing pride in the gopis at the starting of the rasa, immediately disappeared from the scene. Why did Lord want to exhibit? What did Lord want to exhibit by this? And your time starts now.
Samir Prabhuji, would you like to answer?
Priya Mittal Mataji.
I'll go for the answer.
I would like to answer. मेरा वो म्यूट था तो नहीं हो रहा था.
Okay.
प्रभु जी जब भी इसमें कृष्ण भगवान ये कहना चाहते हैं कि जब भी कोई भक्त अपने पूरी तरीके से सरेंडर होके अपने कृष्ण भगवान की सर्विस करते हैं, सरेंडर करके उनकी डिवोशन करते हैं, और जब दूसरे किसी और भक्त को उसके लिए गर्व हो जाता है, एक भक्त का दूसरे की तुलना में जब भक्त प्रभु को ये लगता है कि उनको गर्व हो गया, तो उसका गर्व हटाने के लिए ही वो इस तरीके की क्रिया करते हैं कि जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि मतलब बेसिकली टू रिमूव दैट प्राइड, और टू रिमूव दैट प्राइड कि आप अपने आप को ज्यादा गर्व महसूस ना करें, कि आप अगर मेरी तरीके से मेरे ऊपर सरेंडर है और अगर आप मेरी डिवोशनल सर्विसेज करना चाहते हैं, इफ यू आर इनटू कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस एंड स्टिल प्रभु गायब हुए, क्योंकि उनको ये लगा कि जब गोपियों को गर्व हो गया और गोपियों ने ये समझा कि हम उनकी भक्ति में इतनी उन्मत्त हो गई थी, और उनको ये लगा कि हमारी भक्ति में ही हमारे प्रभु का हमसे सब जो आलिंगन है या जो हमारे साथ वो राज
Oh, Mataji, I would like to repeat the question. Why did Lord want to exhibit? What did Lord want to exhibit by this? What did Lord want to exhibit by this?
कि गर्व नहीं होना चाहिए, गर्व हटाने के लिए प्राउड उनको हो गया था, तो उनका प्राउड हटाने के लिए ही भगवान जी डिसअपियर हुए थे।
No, that's not the point mentioned in the book. Anybody else? The time starts again. Simple question. Lord, on seeing the pride of the gopis at the start of the Ras Leela disappeared from the screen, what did Lord want to exhibit by this? Okay, 5, 4,
Prabhuji, I would
3.
like to add something.
प्रभु जी
Yeah.
Samir Prabhuji, go ahead.
हाँ यानी प्रभु जी जस्ट यानी थोड़ा आई विल ट्राई टू ऐड द अटैक वो अदृश्य हो गए यानी डिसअपियर हो गए कि उनको ऐसा था कि गोपियों को जो अटैचमेंट है उसके प्रति यानी वो उनको ऐसा महसूस कराना चाहते थे यानी वो वर्ड्स आई एम नॉट एबल टू फ्रेम इट करेक्टली देयर आर थिंग्स लाइक वो
See, the gopis were having got pride. Okay, then what was the reason? What did Lord want to exhibit over here? Why would he disappear from the Ras Leela?
वो
Sorry,
गर्व का दमन करने के लिए नहीं प्रभु जी।
no, Mataji. If you read the book properly, the answer is something different. Okay, it's already 30 seconds past. I'm sorry. This question goes for a duck. Very important. Please understand this point. Garv ka daman, you are saying. You want to do? English translation would be subdue is their pride.
Pride, proud.
Right. No, that's a secondary part. That's, as I always give an example, when we do churning of the curds,
Butter.
what do we get? Butter and buttermilk. That is buttermilk. But the most important point, which Srila Prabhupada is mentioning very nicely, and Bhagavatam also explains this, and various acharyas also explain, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always full with the 6 kind of opulences. 6 opulences: Balwan, Dhanvan, Rupvan, Gyanvan, Aishwaryavan, and Vairagyavan. And this is an instance of opulence of renunciation. This renunciation confirms Krishna's total non-attachment. He is always self-sufficient and is not dependent on anything. These are the words mentioned in the book. Let's understand this. If you all want to understand this topic also, let's understand it in detail. No doubt, the gopis got pride. What were they thinking? Krishna is so attracted by my devotion. I have attracted him. And not only that, my beauty is also so nice that Krishna is, he cannot live without me. See, he is pressing my feet. He's dancing with me, and he's dancing with me alone. He is not dancing with any other gopis. But the fact was, he was dancing with each and every gopi. But each gopis were thinking that he is going to dance alone with him. He is not going to, was dancing alone with him. So that moment, Lord wanted to just, he was already displaying so many opulences of his. And out of the Shad Aishwarya, 6 Aishwaryas which Lord has got, one of the most important Aishwarya or one of the most important opulence is renunciation. We all are attached to things. Suppose we are in a party and we want to leave the party and come out. We are attached. We don't want to leave the party. We don't want to lose the mood. And whatever they may think, I cannot survive without the party mood. People are like that. But Lord isn't like that. He is not doing this Ras Leela just for satisfaction. He's doing the satisfaction. He's doing it for the satisfaction of the students, or rather his devotees. So these are all his subjects. So the main thing he wanted to exhibit over here was his opulence of, one of the 6 opulences, renunciation, and he wanted to exhibit his quality of renunciation. Vairagyavan, what we generally say as Vairagyavan, that Vairagyata, he wanted to show his Vairagyata. I am not attached to you gopis. I can leave you all at any time and go without any remorse, without any problem. And that too, this opulence is in fullness. We all have got all this opulence in little. We all have got some money. We all got some strength. We got some intelligence, and we can say we all got some Balwan, Dhanwan, Roopwan. Yes, beauty. Yes, we got some beauty. We all have got some beauty. But who has got everything in fullness? It is only Lord. He is the most powerful, most beautiful, the most richest. We all are having some richness, but he is having the ultimate richness of all the worlds. So similarly, Aishwarya, we also got some Aishwarya. Opulence, he also got all the opulences in the world. And last but not the least, what he is having is renunciation. We also may renounce, like someone may get diabetes, and then he will say, I have renounced sweets, I don't eat sweets. But that is not renunciation, that is by force, because his body demands that. But renunciation, the fullest is with his, which is there in the Lord, is fullness. Immediate, one spot, immediately renounces. So is this answer clear to all of you all?
Ji Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we go to the next question. I was wondering why you all have not been able to answer this very easy question.
Prabhuji, confusion was, this is from Rasa Dance chapter.
Ah.
We were thinking it is the previous verse answer.
नहीं,
Side
ये
is lost. That
ये
was
रसा
my
डांस
confusion.
में ही था, लेकिन
Oh, end of Rasa Dance.
Yeah, it
yes,
is the end.
last
That's why Prabhupada says, read my books scrutinizingly. Prabhupada very specifically mentions this word. Please read my books scrutinizingly. And then only you understand. Otherwise, we generally think, yes, pride, reducing the pride was just one part of it. The main part was to exhibit his renunciations. Yes, question 4. By addressing the Brahmanas as knower of all religious principles, what did the boys want to indicate to them? Your time starts now.
Anyone? Riya Mataji?
No, nobody is able to answer.
No, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Okay, I'll answer. By addressing the Brahmanas as the knower of all the Vedic principles, they were trying to. Sorry, Prabhuji, can you please?
Addressing the Brahmanas as the knower of all religious principles, what did the boys want to indicate to them?
Yeah, they want to indicate to them that by knowing all the religious principles, they should have known who Krishna and Balram is.
Mhm.
And the purpose of all their Vedic knowledge
Mhm.
is to know Krishna and to know Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, something more?
They were also exhibiting that though they are not qualified in the they are not scholars.
I repeat my question. By addressing the Brahmanas as knowers of all religious principles, what did the boys want to indicate to them?
Yes, by
Prabhuji,
by knowing all the religious principles, they should give the charity to Krishna at once, without any delay.
So I think you all have to eat little more badam nowadays.
You know,
Yes, full points goes to Vrindavan Royals. But what is this principle relating to from the Bhagavad Gita? Very important point.
विष्णु को
Yes.
प्रसन्न करने के लिए यज्ञ करना चाहिए.
Yes, perfect. Now you are entitled for the full points.
विष्णु को
Vrindavan
प्रसन्न
Royals.
करने के लिए यज्ञ करना चाहिए और बिना हिचक उनको तुरंत दान करना चाहिए.
Very
उन्होंने
nice.
कृष्ण और बलराम का नाम लेके ये मांगा था.
Perfect, perfect,
लड़कों ने.
perfect.
Thank God मैं एक आंसर दे पाई.
No, actually the earlier answer you got a little confused. That's not the problem. The boys expressed the point of view that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and Balram were asking for food, the Brahmanas should immediately deliver to them without hesitation. Because as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one should perform yajna, sacrifice, only for the satisfaction of Vishnu. It clearly says. Bhoktaram Yagitapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram Suhidram Sarvabhutanam Kyatmam Shanti Prachati. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the Bhokta. I am the enjoyer of all this sacrifice. Bhoktaram Yagya and Tapasa. All your Yagya and Tapasa, I am the Bhokta. So you have to give me the food independently. That is why the children, they address the Brahmanas as knowers of all religious principle. What is the meaning of knowers of all religious principle? सिर्फ वेदों का पाठ, knowing the Vedas, reciting the Vedas perfectly will not be sufficient. You got to know what is the application of it. What is the purpose of the yajna? The yajna's purpose is to fulfill Vishnu, satisfy Vishnu. Okay, full points goes to Vrindavan Royals. So,
Prabhu ji, Vishal Prabhu ji and Priya Mittal Mata ji have exhausted their chances.
okay, so now two main players have exhausted their valuable thing. Now the other players have to take it on their shoulders. But nevertheless, 4 questions over, only 2 questions. So I think they can easily sail through, not an issue. Thank you, Samrat Prabhu. And next question to Vrindavan Royals. And the question is, what is the meaning of Samadhi and how is it attained? What is the meaning of Samadhi and how is it attained? Your time starts now.
Arnav Prabhuji, would you like to go?
Yeah, I'll try this. So, Samadhi is the constant thinking and imagination of Lord and Balram. Samadhi. So, Prabhuji, can I answer the second part first? How is it attained?
Okay.
A person. Samadhi is attained by like a person who imagines and thinks all the time about only Krishna and Balram returning from the forest and with the cows. Like after grazing them, that is Samadhi according to the gopis, and that is Samadhi according to the gopis, and it is attained. It is attained by.
You just now said it is attained. Now then, what are you trying to say now?
I don't. I just forgot the point. Sir, 1 second, Prabhu.
You're very close. Very close. You're very close. Tell me. Look in my eyes. Don't worry. You'll get powers.
Attained by constant devotion and thinking about the Lord and his pastimes.
Okay. Then what is the meaning of Samadhi?
So, like Samadhi is like a person who does not. Oh, that is not written in the Krishna book. That is from my lectures. Like a person who does not get affected by any incident like happiness or sadness. And
that is a quality of a devotee. That's not Samadhi. Advesha Sarva Bhutanam. Yes. Anybody else from your team would like to try?
Prabhuji, I would like to go for. I'll try once.
You're sure? You're sure? Because you got only one chance.
Only one question is left, so it doesn't matter actually.
Riya can try, no?
Riya can try.
Riya Mataji.
No? Okay, then you go.
Okay, see, if you are ready to leave it, I'm ready to give 1 point to this answer. Otherwise, you can go for completing the answer and take full point, 2 points. Choice is yours. I'm giving an option. What Arnav said was partially right, not fully right. Yes.
Even if I don't get points, I'll like to go for it.
Okay.
when we uninterruptedly think of निरंतर कृष्ण के बारे में सोचना and उनकी लीलाओं के बारे में सोचना is योग, and जब इस योग की सिद्धि हो जाती है then it is called samadhi. And gopis are constantly thinking about Krishna, his leelas, they are talking about him, they are listening about him, doing kirtan. So they are the param siddh, they are that's it, I think.
Okay, full 2 points. I'll give it to you all. But Samadhi answer, I don't know what is written in Hindi book. You said in Hindi. I had to.
I'll tell you what
Yes.
I said in English if you want.
Yes.
When you continuously think about Krishna and his pastimes in your mind, and you think about him, you talk about him, you do kirtan, you tell his stories, all these are the...
Okay, Mataji, I agree. But see, Samadhi trance means absorption of all the activities of the senses on a particular object. That is what is the definition of Samadhi. I'm giving full points to you. I'm not taking any cutting off any points of yours. But let this point be very clear to all of you all. See, the bottom line of this entire quiz competition is to gain knowledge. Samadhi or trance means, in simple words, absorption of all the activities of the senses on a particular object. All the senses: eating, sleeping, walking, eating, hearing, listening, seeing, smelling, everything, all your working senses should be focused on a particular object. Persons who are constantly engaging in the transcendental meditation of seeing Krishna internally and externally, by thinking him of playing the flute, entering the Vrindavan forest, and tendering the cows with cowherd boys, have really attained the perfection of Samadhi. And the gopis indicated that the pastimes of Krishna are the perfection of all meditations and Samadhi. Basically, generally, Samadhi we consider it as a big something fantastic. It's not that thing, something fantastic. Even, a boy may be in Samadhi thinking about a girl. All his activities always focused on her. He's eating, he's sleeping, he's thinking of that girl. That is also Samadhi. He's walking, he's going to office, whatever he's doing, whatever activity he's doing, whatever his senses are doing, are all focused on that particular object. That is Samadhi. So Samadhi that is the definition of Samadhi. But what is the perfection of Samadhi? Perfection of Samadhi is when it is focused only on Lord Krishna, on thinking his activities both internally as well as externally. How do you do externally? I'll go to Switzerland, but I'll be thinking about Krishna. No. If you are going to Vrindavan, you're going to the places where Lord Krishna has played his pastimes, or Lord has placed his pastimes, then that is external Samadhi, absorption of the activities of the Lord. Well played. Some more clarity has to be there in your understanding. Humble request from my side. So if you develop that, you will also be perfect in your absorption in Krishna consciousness. So now coming to the last
Prabhuji,
question.
full points, and Priya Singh Mataji has also lost her 2 chances.
Yes. So it's like Karna using the astra on Gadodgaj. And Krishna clapping his hands. And Bhima saying, "Hey, why you're clapping my hands? My son is dead." No, that astra was meant for Arjuna, but now that has been used against Gadodgaj. So no problem. We lost Gadodgaj, but at least we saved Arjuna. So you must be having that feeling, right? So the last question for Vrindavan Royals for today evening is: yes, the last question. The Brahmana's wives had come to Krishna despite all protest of the relatives, father, husband, brothers, and despite all duties of household affair. Which instructions they were following from the Bhagavad Gita? Your time starts now.
Namrata Mataji.
Simple question. Simple. Yes.
Prabhuji, can you show the question again once?
Want to see the question again? Okay, I'll read the question for you. The Brahmana's wife had come to Krishna despite all protests from the relatives, father, husband, brothers, and despite of all household affairs. Which instruction they were following from the Bhagavad Gita?
Priya Mataji and Vishal Prabhu, I'll try this.
Yeah.
Like I haven't read, but I'll. Prabhuji, Krishna has mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that not Krishna, like in the Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that whenever Krishna calls, you should leave everything aside and go and like answer his calls.
Okay.
So that that is the
But
thing.
Bhagavad Gita, I don't think anywhere in Bhagavad Gita you said that what you are saying.
Prabhuji, or if there is any devotee or like if he or she goes into Krishna consciousness, they do not require to follow or do their material responsibilities to their husband or children.
No, that is not the point which I'm trying to. That's what is mentioned in the book, neither in the Bhagavad Gita. I can quote the verse also from the Bhagavad Gita if you want. Yes. Any of the team members? Yes. You got 10 seconds left. Please try.
कल माता जी try तो करिए कुछ.
हाँ, speak something. कुछ तो.
Prabhuji, who gave all their duties and who are surrendered. So
Sorry, the time is up. I can't give any points for this. This question goes for a duck. The simplest, easiest question of today's evening. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami ma sucha. The most famous verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord said, one who surrenders to me, giving up all varieties of occupation and religious duty. That is what he wanted to show in this point, in this wives of the Brahmanas Leelas. What was the purpose? The point was very clear. He wanted to show that these Brahmanas' wives, despite of protest from the relatives, from the parents, from husband, from brothers, and their household activities. You know, I see many people coming and no, Prabhuji, actually I would have performed well in the KPL, but I got some household activities. I'm stuck in that. I'm stuck in this. Because what does Krishna say? It's exactly the opposite. He says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami ma sucha. Just surrender, giving up all varieties of occupation. Sarva dharman. What is that dharman? The word dharman refers to occupation. What is that occupation? If you are a father, you have a dharma of taking care of your children. If you are a husband, you have a dharma of performing as husband's dharma. If you are a son, you have a dharma of performing a son's duty. So these are the dharmas. So generally people say dharma means religion. Not just religion. All surrendering all your occupational and religious duties. They are the duties which you have to do. And which you surrender that, it's not a problem. That's what he wanted to exhibit by this Leela. Anyhow, sorry, this question goes for a duck. And with this,
the final score is 8 points.
8 points for Vrindavan Royals. Okay, well played. Could have played better. Yes, Captain Priya Singh Mataji, did you know the last answer?
No, Prabhuji.
So you have no remorse for that.
No.
What about Vishal Prabhuji? Did you know the last answer?
Prabhuji, I didn't know the exact verdicts, but the idea was very clear that one who surrenders in Krishna consciousness has to leave all his activities. That idea was very clear, but the exact answer.
One thing always remember, the final conclusion of the entire Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to surrender to the Lord.
Yes.
If you can't do karma yoga, you can't do dhyan yoga, you can't do any other yoga, you're not fit for anything. Okay, Lord says, just surrender to me and everything I'll take care of you.
Every time.
And that is the only thing which we don't want to do. We want to do everything, but we don't want to surrender.
Surrender.
That is the problem with mankind.
Yes.
So nevertheless, one who learns this principle will be happy. Anyhow, thank you very much, Vrindavan Royals. You all can switch off your videos.
Thank you.
And I would like to request the Makanchor challengers to switch on their videos. Yes, Makanchor challenges, what do you feel? You can manage? You can easily topple up the score of 8 runs easily.
We'll have to try, Prabhuji. We'll have to try.
So what does the vice captain has to say now? You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, Pooja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, when you're asking the questions to the other team, then we know all the answers. That's the only problem, Prabhuji.
When it comes to on our head, it becomes a problem.
I've answered all the questions, Prabhuji, 6 to 6. Now I don't know.
So let's hope Krishna is in your side now and you all answer very well. So with this prayer, let's start with Makanchor challengers. The first question for Makanchor challengers for today evening is and the question is, in the Ras Dance introduction chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, word Bhagwan Api, what does it signify? The word Bhagwan Api, what does it signify? Your time starts now.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yes.
भगवान को 6 काइंड को ओपुलेंसेस है, मतलब full in 6 opulences. That is the Bhagavan Abhi significance. Means renunciation, strength, beauty, fame. और भगवान को मतलब किसी मतलब ये ओपुलेंस में फुल इन रिचनेस है.
Okay. I'm asking what is the meaning of the word Bhagwan Api in the Bhagavatam as mentioned in the Ras introduction chapter. Yes, your time starts again.
Still भगवान को मतलब रासलीला still भगवान गोपियों के साथ रासलीला करने के लिए इंटरेस्ट कर रहे हैं.
Still मतलब क्यों इंटरेस्ट कर रहे हैं? You are on the right track. If you can explain the answer correctly, I will give you the points.
In order to fulfill the desire of the gopis ने already कात्यायनी व्रत किया है. भगवान को
No. You are going off the track now. If you can give me what is the answer in the book, I'll give you the points. Okay, you got 15 seconds more.
Shiv, you know the answer? Can you help him?
Namrata Mataji, so she is on the opposite team. Okay.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Sorry, the first question goes for a duck. This means that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus has no desire or need to be fulfilled. Why? Yes, because he is having fullness in all the 6 opulences, there is no need or no desire to be fulfilled. But still he wanted to enjoy the company of the gopis in the Ras dance. Bhagwan Api signifies that this dance is not an ordinary dancing of young boys and girls. So is this point clear to all of you? Makanchor challengers, you have to understand this very clearly, that Lord, though he had no desire, because he is already in fullness in all opulences. So what is the need for him to desire or any need to fulfill any of his desire. Still he desired to fulfill to do the dance, Ras Leela with the gopis. So what does the word Bhagwan Api signify? It signifies that it is not an ordinary dance. It is a dance beyond this material contamination or material understanding. Okay. Sorry, the first question goes for a duck. So let's see what do they do for the next question. I was expecting the simple question to be answered well. Okay, Makanchor, the next question comes to you. And the answer to the next question. The question is, when Krishna left the Ras Leela, why did gopis began to question the trees and the plants about Krishna? And your time starts now.
Prabhuji, I would like to.
Yes. Please speak.
Prabhuji, they were asking because Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, in every living entity's heart, whether he is animal, a tree, or human being. And they also asked Tulsi plant also because she is very.
Okay. Main point, the crux of the answer is clear. Okay, full points goes to Makanchor challengers. Well played, Shudat. Because Krishna is all pervasive. He is present in the sky, he is in the forest, he is within the heart, and he is everywhere. Why is everywhere? You have to understand, Lord is all pervasive. विष्णु का मतलब क्या हुआ? सब जगह व्याप्त है. He is pervading everywhere. It is said, and many Hindi acharyas they say very nicely, विश्व के हर अणु में है, इसके लिए उनका नाम विष्णु है. In every atom of this universe, Lord is present. That is why it is called as Vishnu. So well played. Yes, gopis knew that Krishna has vanished. So suddenly from the Ras Leela, they were all sad and they started asking the question to the plants, to the trees, the shrubs, because they knew Krishna is there everywhere. Anywhere he can come from anywhere, from any place, and he can answer their prayers also. Well played, Makanchor challengers, and full points goes to them for this question. So we go to the next question, and the next question is, what was the reason Surabhi cow wanted to bathe the Lord with milk? What was the reason Surabhi cow wanted to bathe the Lord with milk? And your time starts now.
माताजी मैं गुरुजी मैं बोलूं. हेलो. ये जब सुरभि माँ जब इंद्रदेव जब कृष्ण जी से माफी मांगने आए थे तो उनके साथ ही सुरभि गाय भी वहां आई थी उनसे माफी ये मांगने की, क्योंकि बहुत जब इंद्रदेव ने अपने बादलों को भेजा था बहुत वर्षा करने के लिए, तो वहां बहुत सारी गायें भी थी जिससे बरसात में बहुत सारे उनको तकलीफ हुए थे. तो उस वजह से वो कृष्ण जी को क्षमा मांगना चाहती थी, क्योंकि उनके सारे गाय भी थे ना उधर ही, इसलिए वो अपने दूध से कृष्ण जी से को पवित्र करना चाहती थी. इसलिए वो उन्होंने कृष्ण जी को स्नान कराया था अपने दूध.
Anybody wants to add up to this answer? Mataji, with my limited Hindi knowledge, I can understand that you are saying that she wanted to, the Surabhi guy wanted to ask for forgiveness. Am I right?
Yes.
Sorry.
अपनी गलती को सुधारना चाहती, मतलब क्षमा मांगना चाहती थी, इसलिए वो अपने कृष्ण से दूध से नहलाकर उनको शुद्ध करना चाहती थी पूरे इनका अपने दूध से.
कौन गलती का माफी मांगना चाहता?
मतलब वो
इंद्र.
नहीं मतलब वो अपने दूध से ये करना चाहती, क्षमा मांगना चाहती।
Sorry, I can't give any points to this question. This question goes for a duck because the understanding of this point is not clear. Let's hear it what Srila Prabhupada writes in this book. He says, Surabhi said, although Indra tried his best to kill my descendant cows in Vrindavan, they remained under your shelter and you have protected them. We do not know anyone else as the supreme, nor do we go to any other god or demigod for protection. Therefore, you are our Indra, you are our protector, the elevator of all the cows, brahmanas, and demigods. And to others, you are the most pure devotee, your lordship. First and foremost, Mataji, you are telling me that Surabhi came for asking for forgiveness. What mistake did Surabhi do? Why should she ask for forgiveness? Forgiveness was asked by Indra. Surabhi wanted to thank him because Krishna had protected. Surabhi did not come there for asking for forgiveness. She just came to say, thank you. You have saved my descendants under your shelter. Indra was actually trying to kill my descendants by the torrential rains. But you protected them. And we know no one else who is superior. Who is the supreme? You are the supreme. Therefore, you are our Indra, not that Indra who had sent the torrential rains. You are our Indra. You are the protector and elevator of all cows, brahmanas, and demigods, and others who are pure devotees of your lordship. Is this point clear to you, Ankita Mataji?
Yes, Guruji.
What mistake you did was you were saying that she asked for forgiveness. She did not ask for forgiveness. In fact, she was thankful to God because God had protected the cows by lifting the Govardhan and keeping all the cows under his protection. It was Indra who was trying to kill all the inhabitants of Vrindavan by his torrential rain through the Samvarta clouds. And he protected them. So sorry, this question goes for a duck. Not up to the quality of performance from the Makanchur challengers. Next question. I think the captain, the vice captain have to take some active role from couple of matches. They have not been taking a couple of active roles. So request them to take some active part. Question 4. How did the gopis worship Durga Devi? How did the gopis worship Durga Devi?
Prabhuji, I'll try.
Yes.
प्रभु जी ये उन्होंने ये कात्यायनी व्रत कात्यायनी देवी जो दुर्गा माता का दूसरा नाम है, उनका व्रत करती थी। वो शरद ऋतु के बाद की ऋतु में ये व्रत करती थी और वो उनमें पहले वो हविष्यान अन्न खाती थी, जो एक प्रकार का प्योरिफिकेशन ऑफ द बॉडी रहता था, वो करती थी। वो पूरा महीना वैसा करती थी और वो मिट्टी और रेत से बनाया हुआ माता जी का मूर्ति बनाती थी और उसकी पूजा करती थी और उन्होंने उसमें वो पूजा करती थी और उन्होंने उसमें भगवान श्री कृष्ण उनके पति बने, ऐसा उन्होंने मांगा था। और ये पूरा महीना वो करती थी।
My question was, how did they worship? You are telling the pre and post. How did they worship? Very good, you said उन्होंने उनका एक मूर्ति बनाया, but then how did they worship?
प्रभु जी सुबह वो 4 बजे उठ के यमुना घाट पे जाती थी, वहां पे स्नान करती थी, फिर वहां पे ही वो दुर्गा देवी की मतलब दुर्गा देवी का जो स्वरूप है कात्यायनी देवी, उसका वो पूजा करती थी, क्योंकि कृष्ण को वो भगवान को वो पति के रूप में चाहते।
My question is, how were they worshipping? How did they worship Lord Durga? Goddess Durga rather. Time is trickling. Yes.
Prabhuji, with the flower garlands and deep and cloth and offering of incense and all these things they used to offer to Durga Devi, and like this they would.
You said flower garlands, incense, and lamp, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Other than that, did they offer anything more?
Cloth also is offered, Prabhuji, and bhog. Bhog is offered to the deity, and
Very good. What else?
and
Okay, I give full points to your team. Yeah,
sandalwood based.
Yes, that completes the answer. That completes the answer. The unmarried gopis used to prepare the deity of goddess Durga and worship it with chandan pulp, garland, incense, lamp, and all kinds of presentations like fruits, grains, and plants. Just bhoga mat bolna, fruit, grains, and plants. After worshipping, it was a customary to ask for some benediction, and the benediction they asked was Krishna as their husband. Okay, full 2 points given to Makanchur challenges for this question. So last 2 questions. Yes, Scorer Prabhuji, what is Samrat Prabhuji? What is the situation?
Prabhuji, Vrindavan Royals had scored 8 points. Now they have scored 4 points. Two questions are remaining. If they hit both for 2 runs, then it's a tie.
Okay. So let me ask the reaction to the captains after the next question. Okay, next question coming to Makanchur challengers, and the question is, this time all my questions have been so simple, but still I wonder how we are not been able to score your points. 5th question for today evening, and the question is, what is Karma Mimamsa theory? What is Karma Mimamsa theory, and your time starts now?
I'll answer this.
Answer. Okay, okay, all cannot, right? Who wants to answer other than Raish? Who wants to
First, I'll waste my turn.
Okay, wait. I'll give you your turn. Don't worry. Even if that person is wrong, you don't write. Yes, who is the person? Please speak.
Prabhuji, it's a philosophy of an atheist. It is they do not believe in God. They say that if one works hard, they surely get a result. So we do not need to worship God, and if we work hard, we'll surely get a result. And so we have to work harder on a duty. We have to put effort on a duty.
Okay, full points given to Vrunda Makanchur challengers. Yes, Raish Prabhu, I would like you to add some points to this now. She has given the crux very nicely.
This theory Krishna explained to Nand Maharaj.
Yes.
When he wanted the Nand Maharaj and the elderly people.
No, I don't want the background. I want the Karma Mimamsa theory only. Yeah. What Mataji explained, Vamshi Mataji explained
Addition
perfectly.
is only that they believe in God, but they say that if we perform our duties perfectly, we don't need to worship them.
They believe God, but here was she said, they do not accept the supremacy of the God.
Yes.
They do not accept the supremacy of the God. Yes, there is a very important philosophy. Yes, first and foremost, I would like the scorer to give them 2 points for this answer, and I appreciate the way the young generation has answered this question very fast. Vamshi has immediately, spontaneously answered, and it has boosted my morale. Very happy to see youngsters coming up with good answers. Yes, advocates of this philosophy do not accept the supremacy or the supreme authority of God. They put forward the argument that if anyone works nicely, the result will come for sure. Their opinion is that even if there is a God which man gives the fruitive results, who get the fruitive activities. He gives the fruitive results or activities for that man. There's no need to worship him, because unless a man works, he cannot be bestowed with good results. They say that instead of worshipping a demigod or god, people should give attention on their own duties. Thus, the good results will come of its own. So, well understood by Vamshi. What is important is understanding the principle and the theory rather than just by having and giving answer. Very well said. So this is a very famous theory, and today, sorry to say, as she rightly said, it's an atheistic theory. There's an atheistic principle which today many people try to follow this. What's the use of God? Let's retire God. We don't need God. हम काम करेंगे, हमारा हाथ काम करेगा. We will work, and our work will feed us. Where is God feeding us? It's our hard work which is feeding us. In that way, they all say it. But that theory is not true. We see that Lord said in the earlier chapter, the last verse, Lord says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. You just surrender, living about all your duties, and I will protect you.
The doctor example is given in the book.
Yes.
That if you have all the medical facilities, the best of the doctors, but until and unless the Lord desires, you cannot be saved. Your life cannot be saved.
So Raj Rora Prabhu is hitting the nail, final nail, to make sure that nowhere this team loses. It's 2 marks. So well said, well answered. So last question. Now either you win or you tie. No, there's no question of win. Either you tie or you lose. There's only 2 options left for you all. So yes, what does the captain like to say right now?
वही सिचुएशन आ गया वापस. Anyway, जो भी रहेगा अच्छी तरह से.
That means what does it mean? We have to study more harder. You have to put in more hard work. Okay, and what does the vice captain have to say?
प्रभु जी क्या बोल रहे हैं अभी? फर्स्ट खेलते तो बेटर रहता.
प्रभु जी, if
मैं
we
तो आपको
tie,
पहले ही बोल दी थी.
Don't worry, Krishna is there. We're going to get.
One sec, Prabhuji. If we tie, we can move ahead by winning the last 2. If we lose, we are out.
Okay, don't worry, you're still in. Krishna will always keep you all in, don't worry. So for the last question for today evening for Markanchur challengers, and the question is the most simplest question ever to be given to any team. What all misunderstandings did Indra mention to Krishna when he came to ask for forgiveness? What was the reason of his misunderstanding? Your time starts now. What did the misunderstanding? बोलिए माता.
जब कृष्ण भगवान ने सब ग्वाल बालों को बोला यज्ञ नहीं करने के लिए, तो इंद्र को बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा आ गया और 7 दिन तक मूसलाधार बारिश की उसने. तो तब वो सोचते थे कि मैं ही सर्वोपरि हूँ, और कृष्ण ने मेरा ये चुराने के लिए, यज्ञ का ये भाव चुराने के लिए सबको मना कर दिया है कि आप मत करो करके. पर जब उसे पता चला कि कृष्ण ही सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉड है, तो वो आते हैं और वो कृष्ण से माफी मांगते हैं, और वो कृष्ण
full points, very nice, continue.
और वो कृष्ण को बोलते हैं कि मैंने अपने आप को सबसे बड़ा समझा, जो मेरी गलती थी, क्योंकि आप ही सबको ये प्रोटेक्शन देने वाले हैं, सारे जीव मात्र का आप ही रक्षण करते हो, और मैं क्यों, मतलब मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा कैसे आ गया कि मैं ही स्वर्ग का राजा हूँ, ये वो.
Good. Very nice. The main point which you have to say in this answer is, or the realization which Indra got, or the misunderstanding which Indra had was, Indra said, I thought you had offended me by not allowing the cowherd men to perform the Indra Yajna. And I thought you wanted to enjoy the offerings that was arranged for the sacrifice. I thought that in the name of Govardhan sacrifice, you want to take away my share of profit. And therefore, I mistook your position. And because I was puffed up with my false prestige. Well played, Hemangi Mataji. Well answered. and I think it has saved Markanchur challengers. Well answered. Very nice understanding you have presented, and your detailed explanation was also very nice. Yes, Indra was thinking, "Bhai, mere hisse ka leke ja rahe Krishna." But we have to understand, Krishna is not here to take on anyone's profit or benefit. Krishna wants that you always take your share. But if the day you think you are the controller, you are the enjoyer, and you are puffed up with false prestige, that time Krishna will teach you a lesson. That is what he wanted to show in this entire Leela. So well played, Markanchur challengers. So what is the final score, Samrit Prabhu?
Prabhuji, again, one more match is a tie with 8 points scored by both the teams.
Very nice. So I like ties. Now that means if both teams are equally poised, equally played, and this today's match was a very tough time match. Huh? I was expecting the clash between the two Titans, and I was expecting a 12 points clash. I was astonished to see a low points clash. Nevertheless, I'm very happy. Both of you played very well. So before we conclude our today's session, I'll just like to tell all those who have joined in lately. Yes, this is a quiz program based on Krishna book, written by Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and we are right now completing the third round of our game. We have got 2 more rounds left, and which will be played on every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And those who want to have an insight of what are the activities can visit our website www.vedicbliss.in or come to our Facebook channel and see all the matches available on the Facebook. Thank you very much. With this, I take your leave. Hare Krishna.